Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline with Nick Eatman.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline, Wednesday, April 23rd, probably also referred to as the NFL Draft Eve. I just made that up, but I'm sure people have said that before. It's time. Well, tomorrow it's time to talk the NFL Draft. We've been talking about it for the last, few months or so, some more than others. But this is about the time when I really get invested now. I'll jump in. I'm that guy, in the marathon. I'm interested in the .2. You guys can run the 26, but the .2, I'm in. I'm ready. I'm ready to run this marathon. So that's kind of where we are, obviously, in this draft process. And we want to hear from you guys. 888-855-2297. We do have a guest that's joining us. You guys know him. You love him. Darren Woodson is supposed to be here. And usually anybody else, I would say, we'll see. We'll see if he gets there. He's told me twice he's coming 9:45, which here in 15 minutes. I would be surprised if he's not early. That's just the Woodson way. We're hoping he'll be here. Whoever gets to call on the line in that time when he's here, it'll be your lucky day. It'll be our lucky day as well. All right. Let's get it started, though. Let's see if we can get a few calls in beforehand. Anthony in Miami, start us off. Anthony.
Nick the Quick, what's up, my guy?
What's up?
What's up, baby? Hey, the nickname is taking off, baby. I heard the show last week. The nickname is taking off.
I heard someone say that. That's right. That's right. What
but
you
anyway, since I hadn't called a couple weeks, I was waiting on this draft show. I'm sorry I'm going to miss Woody, man. Best damn Cowboy safety ever, man.
Yep.
Hall of Famer, definitely.
Yes.
You had two callers last week. I want to say that. I think their names, one guy from Alabama, Jerome, and another guy with my namesake, Anthony from PA. They were great calls, man. I don't think they were first-time callers. Those are the type of calls I'm talking about because one bled blue and silver, so I love that.
Yeah.
Next up, Irene. She answered me on the I don't have social media. I'm not even on the Storyliners. But on the YouTube stuff, she answered one of the things I put down about Randy and his family, man, my thoughts and prayers. I appreciate you, Irene, for putting that out for the people. And Randy, your boy Anthony got you, man. We're going to do that karaoke thing. Now let's get on to this draft thing. I've been hearing people with the needs and what's more important, no line, this and that. My little list real quick. Explosive wide receiver. Explosive running back. A good left tackle. Good to going to be great that we can plug in right now. A starting cornerback and another D tackle.
This is all in the draft.
This is if you can get it, if you can trade back, you can probably get that type of stuff. You can get that type of stuff. There's four people that I adore in this draft. I mean, I adore it. We can get them. Two we probably won't get, and I'll give them to you, and I'm going to get off the line and let somebody else get in. Aston Genty, I wrote a poem with the man's name in it, so everybody know that. Travis Hunter. That's a trade-up situation, so we probably won't get them. If we stayed at 12, we'll get my third guy. That's Tyler Warren. I fooled everybody. That's a beast. I want people listening to the press conference yesterday, I want people that's going to play, that's going to be hard-nosed, that's going to come in and want to compete, that love football. I heard it, and I love those four guys up there in that press conference. That's what I'm talking about. And my fourth one, he's a trade back and a late pick, and his name is Cam Scatterboo. A lot of people, he's slow, he's small. He's just a better Deuce Vaughn, and I'm not trying to put Deuce out there. He's just a better one, man. That guy's hard-nosed football player. That's what I want. We're still going to have a good draft, and we're still going to root for our Cowboys.
All right.
Talk to you next time, Nick.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Yep, I mean, obviously, Genty, I don't think is going to make it out of the top 5, maybe top 6. Probably not getting past the Raiders at 6 if he even gets there. The Travis Hunter thing, though, still is amazing to me. I watch college football, as much as anybody. And don't get me wrong, quarterback's the most important position on the field. There's no doubt about it. And Cam Ward is apparently this year's best quarterback, but there'll be next year's Cam Ward. And there was a Cam Ward before that. And every year there is the best quarterback or two that's out there. There's not been another Travis Hunter since his name was Deion Sanders. So I just don't understand that one. I don't understand how he gets past 1. I mean, I'm sorry. The difference between Cam Ward at 30 at 1 and at 33, whoever quarterback you want to take there, the difference between those two quarterbacks can't be that far away from the difference between Travis Hunter and then the next receiver and corner. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, generational player, that's what we're always looking for. Again, that's not the Cowboys' problem, but they're not going to be able to get those guys. I just, when I think about him, getting to 4, getting to 5, falling, I'm like, I can't believe he would even get to 2, in my opinion. All right, let's keep it rolling. Sebastian in Savannah, Georgia.
Good morning, Mr. Evening. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Listen, I'm doing great. I got in on my first phone call. I'm a semi-professional day trader, so I made $1,700 right before that call. I'm doing fantastic.
Yes, you are.
That's an awesome morning.
Yeah, I love that those are in the same sentence.
Yeah.
You made almost $2,000, and you got in on the StoryLine on the first call.
Yeah, I got the notification as I was closing the trade, literally, and I'm like, oh, let me call him real quick, and it rings, and I'm like, oh, I'm in.
Man, that's either a good thing for you or bad for us that we don't have the same kind of exposure. But I don't think it's the case. I think I hear the phones ringing.
It's great for both of us. But let's get to the top real quick,
day,
right?
Sebastian. Good day. All right. Well, what do you got? What do you got for us?
So I'm a big fan of Linkin Park, and they have an album, Meteor, where they have a song, Breaking the Habit, on there, right? I want Jerry to break the habit. At this point, getting the lineman has become the habit. I'm not against it, but it has become the habit, and I want to try something a little different. So I'll put it in terms that we all understand. We play games. Verdansk is back in Call of Duty, right? I'm a great sniper. I love sniping. I do it all the time. But every now and again, my team needs me to, sack up and grab an AR sub, and I want to show them that I can do something a little different to help the team, right, to make sure that we win. Do something a little different, maybe be a little bit more aggressive, maybe pick up the phone this time if you decide that you want to trade back. But do something different in this draft, and don't just go for what we're good at. Yes, we're good at drafting linemen. But as we had that amazing wall and that great running game, we still didn't make it beyond the first round of the playoffs. So what type of weapon can we get on this team, whether it be stopping people from scoring touchdowns or scoring touchdowns, that can get this team to win? And that's all I want to know, Mr. Even, in your opinion. And you guys have a great day.
Well, you have a good day as well. I don't necessarily agree. I mean, yes, you're good at drafting linemen, but it's time to do it again. That's the thing. I mean, we're talking about 14 years ago, Tyron Smith, and then Travis Frederick 2 years later, and then Zach Martin. They're all retired. Obviously, we know that now. 2 of them have retired in the last few months. So it's time to do it again. Now, Tyler Smith, they drafted a couple years ago. That worked out well. Tyler Guyton, that hasn't worked out yet. Maybe it will. But it's time to reload. And so you lost me a little bit with your Call of Duty references just because that's not a game that I play. However, I understand your point, of course, about, tricking it up every once in a while, doing things different. We'll see if they do that. I think at 12, I just think you're going to get a good player, a really good player, a guy that should come in here and start. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. I don't know how many first round grades that they have. We'll probably find that out tomorrow. I'm guessing somewhere between 15, 17, something like that. My goal for the Cowboys would be to make sure you get a first round grade. That's it. If you do trade back, fine. But make sure it's a trade back knowing that you're still going to get a guy that you value as the first round grade. To me, adding a third and a fourth just so you can move back to 19 or 20, I don't know if that's worth it as much. But unless one of your first round grades is a guy that not a lot of people have, valued as much. For instance, and again, I'm just kind of spitballing here, maybe like a lineman from Texas, Kelvin Banks. That might be a guy that they really like, and they see the versatility as a tackle and a guard. And whereas other teams are maybe saying he's a late first rounder or second round pick or whatever. A guy like that they think, hey, we really, really love this guy. We think we can get him later. Then I guess I'd be okay with that. But make sure you get first round talent because you've earned it by playing the way they did last year. So make sure you can get one. All right, let's go to Robbie, Cocoa Beach, Florida. Robbie, what's up?
Good morning, Nick. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
The same question as always. How's the family, Jake, the wife, everybody, daughters? Good?
Everybody's great. Yeah, everybody's great. Thanks for asking. Yep.
Of course. So normally I ask a question and I take it offline. Can I have a conversation with you a little bit?
Let's go for it.
All right. So maybe 2 weeks ago, you said some stuff about Tyler Warren, the tight end, that we'd have to trade Ferguson. I'd like to debate that a little bit. And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I just want to debate it a little bit. I remember the Patriots when they had Hernandez and Gronk with the two tight ends running 21 personnel.
Right.
They were amazing. What would happen if we had, Ferguson and Warren?
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. And I don't know how long they had all those two guys together.
Yeah, it was only like 2 years or something.
Right, because what usually happens every 4 years, I mean, it's, it's contract.
You gotta pay somebody. Yeah.
Right. And so that's the thing. I mean, Ferguson's at that point right now. I mean, he talked about it last night at the home run derby that, I mean, contract is getting, is getting that time again. He knows he has to step up and play better. This is a big year for him, obviously. So, you're not wrong. You're not wrong in that, but I don't think when the Patriots were doing that, they were kind of doing more the inside out approach. I don't think they had Randy Moss. I mean, I don't think they at that time they were just like whoever the receiver is fine. They didn't have CeeDee Lamb is what I'm trying to say. So that approach, you don't have to trade Jake Ferguson. If that happens, you don't have to trade him the next day or even this year. You don't have to do that, but you would think that you probably don't, especially with Schoonmaker. I mean, that's a lot of tight ends there. A lot of draft
second rounder too. Yeah.
So that's what I would think. Again, I think we're just kind of talking here. I don't think the Cowboys are going to take.
We are.
And I don't know if he'll even be there. From what I hear, I mean, what I'm seeing and all that. I mean, he's probably going to be a top 12.
I think so. We'll see.
We'll see.
So
yeah, I mean, there's going to be that moment of some poor guy's going to be sitting there, with his family in the room, and he's,
going to get passed up, and
right,
passed up, yeah.
And so, or at his house. I mean, they'll show him there one way or another. So, but
all right. So I got one more question. Then.
Yeah,
and it's this one you can answer offline if you don't mind. So. I'm just going to talk Madden here, not for the game because it's not really that accurate, obviously, but just ratings. Would you rather get 2 or 3 guys that are 90 rating or 8 or 10 guys that are 75 to 80? Just talking trading back. Everybody's talking about trading back, getting more picks. So just your opinion on that, and I'll listen off air. Thanks, Nick, and I hope the best for y'all.
Thank you. That's a good question. It's like, you're talking about the draft. In this particular case for this year, yeah, I'd be okay if I knew I was going to get a bunch of, second round, third round, fourth round studs. Speaking of second round studs, Darren Woodson coming in here. And I could ask him that same question. Darren, what's up, man?
Not much. How's everything?
Doing great, man. He just joins.
Just walk on in, man.
Just crash the party. I mean, you're allowed to do that. Like we said yesterday, if your name is up there on the floor, you can kind of do what you want. The question was, and I'll just jump right in. It's that time of the year. We talk about it. The question was, Brian in Kansas City had a great question. I'm sorry, it was Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida that had the question. Brian is the lucky one that gets to go next. Robbie says, would you rather have 8 to 10 solid players rated about 75 to 80, or a couple of studs at in the 90s? So basically, first and second round hits are great. Everyone else didn't work out so much, or everyone's just solid across the board. And my answer was going to be, in a team like this where you have a CD and a Micah and a Dak,
you need role players.
I need a little bit more role players, but you always want your superstars.
Yeah, you want your superstars. If you could have both, you would. I mean, Jimmy had both.
That's right.
Right, Jimmy had both. He drafted well early in the first, second round, and then he had your role players like the Leon Letts, and that were phenomenal.
Right.
I wouldn't even call Leon a role player. Eric Williams later in the draft, like a lot of guys that, potential Hall of Fame type of guys that were later in the third or fourth round. So you want a little both. Matter of fact, I had this little speaking engagement yesterday, and we talked about that. We talked about the way that early in the 90s, and I hate going back that far, but in the 90s, what made us special was like you did have your big three. You did have your Michael Irvins and Emmitt Smiths and Troy Aikmans, but you had so many guys that got drafted later on in the draft that understood their role. I mean, at the highest level of understanding their role, running down on special teams, blocking for Emmitt like a Daryl Johnston, who was a later draft pick that understood his role, not only as a fullback, but on the special teams as well. And took it to heart.
Yeah.
And if you can find those guys in the third, fourth, fifth round, they round out your roster. That's where you become a championship team.
Right.
You don't become a championship team with just Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. That's not it. That's just not. The roster needs to be built out.
And it's not just second, third, fourth rounders.
No, it's late guys. It's free agents off the street. It's, and guys that buy into it, not just football players. They buy into the culture and what their job is and what they're expected of.
Oh, that's a great. Well, I'll say now, thanks for joining us. And what do you? I mean, obviously you have some great draft stories. I've talked to you about that in the past. We can share that if you want, because I remember you said you hated the Cowboys.
Yeah, I hated them.
You hated the Cowboys, and you didn't really want to get picked by the Cowboys.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, it didn't matter. Actually, it didn't matter. I just wanted to be drafted. I was surprised that the Cowboys drafted me because I had so much more interest from the Giants and Detroit. And I'm talking, man, I had a ton of teams that shared more interest than the Cowboys did. I mean, they played their cards pretty close to the vest. But I was just excited. And you can talk to any draft pick coming up right now in the next, couple days, the next day, I guess. They just want to get off the board. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can talk about their favorite teams growing up and all. They want to get off the board.
Right.
They want to be somewhere because their dream has always been this moment. And it doesn't matter if it's Jacksonville or whomever. We'll figure it out once we get there. But getting off the board and knowing that you've been picked is the dream, man. That's the goal.
And then all of a sudden the Cowboys just became your team.
They became my team. Jerry signed his check, and I became a Cowboy fan. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah,
like a little signature.
Money helps.
Yeah, money helps, man.
But it's also, like you said, it's also a team that believes in you more. It was that team, and it was funny because you said you just had to get away. You went and played golf.
I was going out actually. So the year before, I'll tell the story.
Hey, tell the story.
The year before, my friend, one of my best friend today, best man at my wedding, was my roommate, Floyd Fields. He was a year in front of me. He got drafted. He was supposed to get picked in second, third round, or late to mid-second round, right? He went and fell to the fifth round of the draft. San Diego Chargers drafted him. And he and I sat there and watched him fall to the third round, fourth round. And guys were going in front of him, and I was like, man, it was hard, man. It was painful sitting there watching it with him. And it was emotional, man, just going through this with him. And he finally gets drafted, and right when he got drafted in fifth round, they said his name, San Diego Chargers. He looked over to me and said, we're not going to do this next year for you. This ain't happening. I'm not going to let you just sit here and go through this process, right? So he goes to San Diego, comes back the next year on my draft day, gives me his pager. We didn't have cell phones back then. Yeah. He gives me his pager, and he says, hey, he set up a golf outing for me and my buddies. And he said, hey, look, when you get drafted, my family was all there. And he said, when you get drafted, I will ping you. I will call and text you. But we're not going to sit here and watch this thing. Wow. So I left and went, of course, we're at Arizona State. Had to go get the drinks first, right? And, from the drinks and had to go to the golf course. And I was pulling up the golf course, phone or a pager rang. I call from, long story, but it was a lot more than this because my 6'5" friend had to threaten the pro shop guy to use the phone, so he ended up. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a lot going on.
Lot, not just an easy story.
We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have cell phones back then. I had to use a landline, so we had to threaten the guy. I called my buddy Floyd. Floyd picks up the phone, and he says, "Hey man, I got news for you. I said, okay, give it to me. He said, you just got picked, 37th pick in the draft. And I was like, he said, you fell to the second, 37th pick of the draft. And I was like, okay, hey, it is what it is. All right. He says, but I got some bad news. I said, well, what's the bad news? He says, them damn Cowboys. And that was because he knew I couldn't stand the Cowboys. I would never grew up a Cowboy fan, but I sat there for a second. And I thought, man, the Cowboys, really? And he said, yeah, Cowboys. He said, they want you on a plane right now. So you got 30 minutes to get here and get a bag and catch this plane. And I got on the plane. And that's when I thought, I mean, I got emotional on the way to, not so much because there was so much going on. There was so many congratulations. Family was there. And then when I got on the plane, I was by myself. And that's when I was like, man, here's the reality. Yeah. All these years, dude. I mean, I was 7, 8 years old dreaming about being drafted to a football team.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We got guys waiting here. Brian in Kansas City. Brian, what's up, man?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Woodson.
How are you, Brian?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. So I had a question about just as people are coming in for the first time, you just started talking about, you're on the plane, you're on your way. What's that, maybe just a snippet of what's that moment when you walk into, there was no star at the time, but when you walk into the facility for the first time, you're a second round draft pick, you're one of those top guys. What's the, who picks you up at the airport? How do you get from, around the facility, that first day? I'm assuming back in those days, they probably still did press conferences on your first day.
Yes. Yeah.
So, just a snippet of what that very first couple of hours is like, sir. Yeah. And I'll hang up and listen. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and it was a damn pleasure to watch you, sir.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, Brian. So it goes, and I'm not sure how things are flowing currently, how things are, but when I was playing, it was basically you got drafted. They sent someone, especially a first-round pick, you may be a little different. It might be, they may handle the situation a little different. But if you're second, third, fourth round, they're going to send someone to the airport to go get you, to pick you up. You get on that, get in that van, or if it's, you might have 2 or 3 guys. I had 5 guys in the van. I remember some free agents, Michael Beasley, who was a free agent that year that I got drafted. He was on the Sprinter van when I got there, man. It was so many guys. But we got, get picked up. You come here to the facility, and there's always a lead. There's always going to be someone who's leading the process, a young guy who says, hey, he makes the introduction. You walk in, and or it may be, currently, it may be an agent that's flying, your agent flying or meeting you here or whatnot, right? But once you get here to the facility, I mean, I can't speak for everyone else. I can speak for myself. It's the unknown. Like because it's a new organization, man. I just spent 4 years at Arizona State or at the college. I knew everyone there, from the training staff to the doctors to, your athletic department, everyone in the athletic department, the volleyball players, the gymnasts. I knew everybody within that circle, and now it's a new circle. It's a totally new, and it's business, and a little bit of business now, NIL, but sure. But it was truly a business, and understanding that I have to learn and get to know everyone else, and they have to get to know me as well. Yeah. And now I have to learn a new defense, a new offense, or I haven't even thought about my living arrangements and where I'm going to stay. Like, there's so much that you're going through in that time, but I've never lost the thought of, damn, this is where I am. I mean, I'm here. This is the dream.
Well, I tell you what, you're the most humble superstar I've ever met in my life. And we said this, so I joked yesterday with him. Can I tell the story?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was just so funny. The way the star is set up here, there's 6 floors on one side. In the middle, there's this huge lobby atrium area, and then there's 6 floors on the other side, which is a lot of commercial businesses and all that. And Darren's office is actually over there. So I see him every now and again, and I saw him walking on his phone. I knew where he was going, so I ran the other way and kind of intercepted him just so I could say, hey, tomorrow. And he goes, yeah, I got you. And he was like, tell them. He was like telling the really nice security people right there, make sure and tell them I can get there. And I'm like, if your name is on the floor, which is this really nice Ring of Honor, the I don't even know how you would say that.
I don't know either.
They're not plaques, but they're on the actual floor. And I was like, if your name's on the floor, you should be able to go wherever. And they were like, yeah, sir. And I don't think you had any problems. But that's kind of speaks to you, is that you've been around so many guys, so many superstars. We don't need to name them, but you've never put yourself above others when you could.
Yeah, but why? I mean, look.
But where does that come from?
Here's the deal. They have a job to do, right? In security, there's a lot of attrition here. Like, there's the new security guards. They don't know me.
They should.
You know what?
Right?
A lot of people don't know why I say that, because I'm around Dallas all the time, and I've been in the community here, Nick, for 30-some years.
Your face is on a billboard. I saw it on a car. Remember that?
And that's how they remember me. They don't remember that I actually put a helmet on, had a mouthpiece in my mouth, and played 13 years.
No, they're
the Cowboys. No, they look at it and say, "You're that guy that does the commercials, right?" So, I mean, it's just time. And it doesn't matter. I've told the guys that are currently playing today.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with them. I said, hey, look, it's just a matter of time. Hey. When you walk away from this thing, people forget who you are. And that's just the reality.
Well, then come on this show, because nobody forgets that. I'll say this is kind of funny. Yesterday, Stephon Gilmore was walking around. Uh-huh. Of course, everybody gets a big stir. Oh, what's going on? And so I asked the question, and then it came back to me. Well, Darren Woodson's walking around too. Does that mean we're going to draft him? And I was like, I mean, not the worst idea I've ever thought. All right, let's go to Dylan, Northport, Florida. Dylan, what's up?
Hey, Nick. Hey, Darren. I wasn't going to call in today. I had some dental work done. It's like half my face is numb and drooling, but I saw Darren was coming on, so I had a question for him. There's a big debate going on right now in Cowboys Nation, and it's like half of this side, half of the nation, if Cowboys draft an offensive lineman, right, seems like they're going to throw their remote through their TV screen. And the other half is like, well, if that's the BPA, if there's a guy that can come in and instantly upgrade left tackle, right guard, let's go ahead and take him.
Oh, wait,
that's me. I know how Nick feels about it.
That's me. Yeah. Yes, please.
Yes, and I'm on that side, because I've called in and we talked about it and whatever. So we all know where you stand, Nick. Everybody knows where I stand.
I'll shut up.
Darren, as a former player and all-time great player, right, where do you stand on that debate, on BPA, even if it's an offensive lineman versus a weapon like a receiver?
Yeah, look, I'm a firm believer that you win championships in this league. Just look at Philly. You win championships in this league up front. Your big boys have to win games. And this is the Parcells mindset, right? From inside out, he'd always say, hey, we have to win the trenches. And we always talk about this, right? And we lose concept of this because we catch the flash. We catch, this wide receiver here, and this tight end. Oh, my God, they make these big plays. But if Dak doesn't have time to throw the ball, if you're not winning in the trenches, because think about it, you still have to play Philly again. Twice. Right. That defensive front, if you can't keep Dak upright, you got a problem, man. You can't get the ball to CD.
Right.
And I'm a firm believer, if you can get and solidify things with your offensive line, your defensive line, you give yourself a chance on the outside. There's a lot of damn good receivers out there. There really are. There's a ton. There's a lot of good running backs out there. Right? There's a plenty. Now, there's some game changers. There's some guys that are just like this Gentry.
Genty, yeah.
Genty, I'm not sure if he translates or not. I have no idea. I haven't watched him enough, right? But there's probably some superstars that are real difference makers. But I still believe holistically, if you just look at Philly, you look at Detroit, you look at some of the teams in this league, even San Francisco, up front, they're different.
Yeah,
they're built differently.
The scary thing about Philly is that their skill players are
good too.
Yeah. So they're built. That's why they won the Super Bowl. I'm gonna ask you another thing about the draft, and it can get personal. Deion's your boy.
Yeah, love him.
And you probably knew
Shador. Oh man, he was a kid. Knew both of his boys. I know all the kids.
So, he's in a tough spot, obviously, because he's viewed a lot with what his dad does. His dad puts on a show and all that kind of stuff. You've watched them play, and you can talk about Hunter as well, and they're going to be drafted differently probably. But what's your take on them? Because I know you kind of have a personal feeling towards Colorado and Dion. And
here's the thing. There's two sides of this, right? I know the personal side, and I came up and they were babies coming up. So it's different.
Right.
Family, right? And when you have family, you just want them to get drafted early, and you always put them up as they're the elite of the elite. Look, I'm not assessing quarterbacks. I'm not watching film and breaking down film of what, the top 5 quarterbacks, including Shador, look like. I have no idea what, all I can tell you is what I see on the football field when he played at Colorado. I'll let all the scouts do the rest as far as judging. He's a first-day guy. He's going to be a first-round pick. Where he falls, I have no idea. But, if we're looking for him to be the first pick, and if that doesn't happen, I'm not heartbroken for that. We all know how this works. Yeah. I saw Pat Mahomes go to what? What number was
like
he?
11 or 12.
And I'm not comparing the two, but, he's going to go off the board in the first round. In the first round, right?
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I don't get caught up in the ego of being the first pick in the draft, the number 2 pick, or number 5. The kid, his dream is going to come true tomorrow, and he's going to be picked.
Now, you played safety, slot corner, linebacker at certain times, every special teams. Mm-hmm. You did it all. And you know how your body felt after the game.
Absolutely.
Travis Hunter. What
man.
What is that? I mean, that's unbelievable.
He's a special player, though. I'd like to see how this translates into the NFL.
Yeah. What would you do with him if you were to draft him? Is he
he's a corner.
Corner and then occasional receiver?
Yes. Because look, I think the impact is, watching him play, he seems to be such an elite player on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, there's and I'll say this. In the NFL, there's a lot of big-time receivers, man.
Yeah.
Every team has their guy, right? And can I utilize him on the offensive side of the ball? Absolutely. I can do some things, but he's so different on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a go-getter. He's gonna jump routes. He's
great
hands, ball control, like all those things. So I'm looking at him and saying, okay, you're my starting corner. And then now I'm gonna figure out how I utilize you on the offensive side of the ball, because he can. If you get him in one-on-one situations, it's a toss-up, right? It's balls in the air. He has great ball skills. He's going to make some plays for you.
This is a question I should have asked you before, but how long you got?
I got time.
10 more minutes?
Yeah.
10, 15? Okay, good. We got a couple of callers on the line. This is a treat for them. Let's go to Jerome in Birmingham, Alabama. He was a first-time caller last week. Now you're a regular. Jerome.
Hey, Nick the Quick, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, man? You got Darren Woodson on the line. What's up?
Hey, that's the reason why I'm calling. Hey, Woody, what's up with you, baby?
How you doing, Jerome?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I called in because you've always been a player that I admired. We played the same position. I'm a little bit older than you, but I feel like they need to make a special position for you when it comes to the Hall of Fame voting because of all the things you were able to do on the field.
Thank you.
There's no doubt about it that you are a Hall of Famer, and I will agree with your sentiments about how the 90s team was built, and I'd love to see that come to fruition this year. Fill out the roster, get players that know their role, that accept their role, that are passionate about doing their role, and we're going to go Cowboys.
All right.
Yeah, I appreciate
Jerome,
that.
You got any other questions, or is that it?
That's it, man. I just really want to speak to Woody, man. He's always been somebody I admired, and I'm just glad to get on and be able to talk with him.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Jerome.
Thank you.
You have a good day, brother.
All right,
you
Jerome.
do safe.
That's 2 calls now in a row for him. It's become a regular. We got a lot of regulars that call all the time. A lot of these guys you've already talked to are, but it's always great to have new
faces,
voices, and they call in. And all right, here's another one that's called a lot. Chuck D. He's in Bridge City, Texas. Chuck, what's up?
Nick, it's been a while, man. I got a new job. I hadn't been able to call, but I'm glad I called today.
Yeah, me too. Say what's up to Darren.
Darren, hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Good. I was going to center my question around you, and just one of my favorite games ever to watch still is the 92 championship game. I know you're a part of that.
Yeah.
And if you talk about that game, how nervous you were, I know you're a rookie. And maybe talk about what was it like seeing, you got to see these greats, Barry Sanders against you, Jerry Rice against you. What was your favorite player to go up against, and you were like, kind of starstruck to see?
That's a good question. So yeah, I did a speech yesterday. Actually, it was a Q&A with at SMU yesterday, and they brought up Eric Dickerson yesterday. Now I was a kid. I used to play running back, and I remember I used to love Eric Dickerson. I used to love his running style. I played running back in high school, and I just had this thing for man, he's such a damn good football player.
Can't wait to hear this
right?
story.
So I'm talking, they asked me to count the same question, the guy that I looked, and I remember Dickerson was playing for the Raiders, and Ronnie Lott was playing for the Raiders at the same time. And in '92, we went up there to play in the Coliseum. And Ronnie Lott was my idol as well, both of those two guys. And I remember running out on that field, and they were standing there doing drills, and I'm just staring at them the whole time. Like, man, these two guys,
these are the guys.
I made it.
Yeah.
I'm here. So we get in the game, man, and Dickerson comes in the game. He's like one or two. I think he's like the second team back or whatnot. He comes in the game, and I remember lining up in the nickel and just right across, and I had him out of the backfield, and that was a moment for me.
Yeah.
That was
never heard that.
That was a true moment for me, and he just came out and ran a quick option route, but I just felt like these are the guys that I just dreamt about. Being not playing against, just being like them, man. And it was you never lose that.
That's awesome.
You never lose that feeling.
I wonder. I'm sure because you played long enough. I bet there were guys that you faced.
Yeah, that came up.
That were like
games.
Darren Woodson.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I mean, did that happen that you? That you can think of?
Yeah. Oh, I can't tell you how many guys, especially later on in my career, that you would guys would run up to you after the game, and before the game you really didn't get a whole lot. But I did the same thing with Ronnie Lott after the game, man. We beat the pants off the Raiders. I was looking for him after the game. I just wanted to shake his hand. I never shook his hand. Never knew him. Personally. So I've had that so many times walking off the field and guys talking to me about it.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right, let's go to Chris, Saratoga Springs, New York. Chris.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm at Albany Airport, getting ready to fly out to visit my buddy in Ohio every year for the draft. I fly out there. We watch it in the backyard and a huge projection TV with the fire pit going.
There's probably some alcohol going on there. That seems like there's a few drinks flowing. That sounds a lot of fun. All right,
it is.
Chris, you're on
the
line.
My man Darren Woodson still there?
He sure is.
What's going on, Chris?
I feel like it's Christmas. I'm getting a Christmas wish to actually talk to one of my favorite Cowboys of all time.
There we go.
That's awesome.
You two of my favorites, you and Bill Bates. Those are my two favorite players of all time. Two safeties that changed the game, in my opinion. I just want to say, I think the Hall of Fame, I mean, I haven't been listening because I've been trying to call. I called over 100 times to get in to talk to you, but I just want to say that I think it's a travesty that the Hall of Fame hasn't put you in there. I mean, you literally changed the position in the game. I can't even understand it, and
I finally got it.
I don't even know it.
Chris, Darren was pointing. I don't know what he was pointing at first. Now I got it. Is that Leroy Butler?
That's Leroy Butler up there.
Okay, so he's pointing to the NFL Network, and they're interviewing Leroy Butler, who's conveniently wearing his Hall of Fame. Yeah. and when you talk about travesties,
he's a good player, man. He's a good
exactly.
player.
Good players don't make it to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's a good player. No, I'm just saying.
I know
he's deserving of being in the Hall of Fame, and we talk about the best safeties in those years in those 90s. Like it was he and I, and then Dawkins at the end, and Lynch later on. And
are they all in the Hall of Fame?
Years they're all in, and I'm the one. These are the guys that call me all the time, all the time.
Maybe you just weren't a good enough person.
I didn't do all the right things, man. I was
all
out
right,
on the streets.
Chris, thanks for the call.
Did we answer Chris's question?
I don't know. I think he was just talking about it was a travesty being in and not being in the Hall of Fame, which I think we all agree. And I know you've handled it as
I appreciate that.
Perfectly as you can.
I'll get there.
You'll get there, and I can't wait for that. This next call is special. This is a special caller. Randy in Texarkana is one of our favorite people. Randy, what's up, man?
Dude, what is going on? Man, I just jumped in my truck. I flipped up there to see what y'all were talking about real quick, see if I could get in. And Did I happen to see? I'm trying not to fanboy out right now, but is that the greatest 28 of all time sitting next to you right now?
Yep, he is.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you what, brother. You're already in the Hall of Fame, and you're definitely in the Hall of Fame for the greatest smile. The smile alone has got you there to me, but, dude, it is an honor to be able to talk to you.
Man, I appreciate that, Randy. What part of Texas are you in?
Texarkana.
Texarkana. Okay.
Texarkana, right here on the corner, man. Hey,
that's where my parents grew up.
Oh,
yep.
Yep. And I'm at the age where your Super Bowl runs was my young. We're probably close to the same age, but yeah, I was right there with y'all. That's what's wrong with me today is y'all were so good back then. You made all of us older ones crazy
Randy.
because they can't get back to it.
Randy, I have to
yes,
ask.
Sir.
I have to ask. We're so happy to hear from you, and there's been a lot of talk about you the last couple of shows. Can you update us with what's going on with you?
Yeah, the surgery is actually next Tuesday, so I've had this week off. I told Chris y'all needed to label last week's show, "There's no crying in football." My youngest son, Brian, which you met, he got married last weekend on our property. We had one of those little tents out there and had live music and all that good stuff, dude. And he brought that out there and played the episode for me. And trying not to get choked up now, but y'all killed me, brother. That was awesome. And Irene is an angel.
Yes.
And yeah.
Well, we're all pulling for you for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna try my best to call in after surgery.
Let's try not to, but if you do, you do.
No.
Hey, if you do, you do.
Yeah. But I will apologize ahead of time if weird things come out because you know how that.
Okay.
Hey, Randy, I'm just finding out, man, and I will be praying for you today, man. Randy, what's your last name?
Thank you,
what's
brother.
your last name? Randy?
Jeans, just like a pair of blue jeans.
Okay.
Felt the same
Jeans.
way. All
Okay.
my coaches in baseball, they all hollered blue.
There we go.
I didn't even know my name. Everybody called me blue.
All right. Well, you have a question for Darren?
Not so much. It was I'm shooting from the hip here. I didn't even realize what was going on. All I want to say is Roy gets all the talk about his horse collar rule being brought. They almost started that stupid defensive receiver, I think, because of Darren. Darren, tell me if you can remember it. I want to say it was 49ers. I can't remember, but you were just literally standing in the middle of the field. A receiver comes across the middle to do a little jump catch.
Oh, yeah.
And you stole his soul from his body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they threw all these flags. Dude, you hit that guy so clean and so hard that is what they teach.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what they said, Randy, until they sent me that $75,000 fine. Yeah, that FedEx package that landed in my locker the next day. How does FedEx get here so fast?
It's because it was me. No, it wasn't me. I would have lost that. I'm an actual FedEx driver. I would have thrown that damn thing in the trash for you if it would have been on my truck.
That's funny. Nope, not today.
No. Darren, it is awesome to get to talk to you, brother. And dream come true there. I wish I could meet you in person. That'd be pretty wild.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm praying for you, Randy.
Sir.
God bless
Thank
you,
you,
brother.
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. And I'll keep everybody updated.
Yeah, hang in there, buddy.
Yep, it's just a matter of getting it done now,
Yep, Randy, thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Talk to y'all.
Appreciate it, man. See you later. Yeah, he's he's everybody's favorite. Just as you can tell, it's just perfect. His attitude is always good. Yeah,
I got great energy.
Definitely. All right. Well, let's. So today the draft is tomorrow, and then second and third round is on Friday. What else is Friday?
I have no. You're asking me. I'm talking tariffs upstairs.
That's like the 25th of April. Is that anything? Is that just second round?
I have no idea.
When's your birthday?
That's the 25th of April.
Oh, yeah, it's your birthday. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Coming up.
Okay. So we have another caller. He's not calling in today. His name is Ali. He is a professional photographer for National Geographic.
Oh, wow.
He He's big
serious,
time.
right?
And a lot of times he will call in from places like he's out like on a shoot, and he'll call into the show, and it's amazing. He's really, really good. And he asked me on the show, what is Darren Woodson's favorite animal?
Oh,
remember? And I texted you.
Yeah.
And you got back, shockingly, you said, male lion.
Male lion, yeah.
So this is not a present from me. This is a present from Ali. But since it's your birthday, we're going to, from the show, from the storyline, here is a picture.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Look at that.
Look at this. All right.
That is really
Let's show it to the camera. Look at that.
Look at that, man. He got his scars on him, too, man. That's life.
Yeah.
That's life, brother. That's just, hey, we all go through it.
Is that Micah in like 10 years?
Yeah. No, but I'm serious, man.
That's pretty cool, huh?
You look at the face of this lion, and we just got done talking to Randy. Randy's going through life right now.
Exactly.
Right? In the realest of realest ways. So, we played a game, Nick, and I always want to let everybody know that. Like, I played a game. That's what I played, and I knew I was going to go home that day. Most of the time, I was going to go home. Yeah. I can tell you, man. There's a lot of people who's playing. They're playing the life game right now,
right?
And we need to appreciate where we are right now, man. We just,
That's awesome. Well, that was from Ali. It was a present from him to you. He's
nice.
sitting
Ali, I appreciate this.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is a beautiful. I'm hanging it up today.
All right. Well, and we'll call it your birthday present from Cowboys Storyline. It's been a present for all of us just to have you here. We're going to go to break, let you get out of here. I know you have meetings. It is always an honor when you come by. You're definitely.
I'm right here, man.
Yeah.
I never get invited. That's the problem.
What are you talking about? You get invited. I have a standing
I have to walk by. I have to run into you somewhere. Hey, can I get an invite?
I ran, but you should have seen the 40 time. I like found you. I like ran over 2 people.
Matter of fact, let me ask you, who ran the fastest 40 this year? Does anybody know?
I think.
Is that a first round?
Matthew Golden? I think.
Golden from Texas.
I don't know if he's the fastest. I think he's the fastest receiver. I think he's like 4.29.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. That's moving.
That's moving.
That's what I say. If I'm drafting a receiver, even a running back too, I'm going by the speed. Actually, I saw a picture on NFL Network, and I ran over and took a photo of it. That they had the fastest receivers of the, and it was Matthew Golden 4.29. But there's 10 of them that have run between 4.29 and 4.39.
Okay,
get one of them.
Yeah, one of those guys. Get a burner.
Because CD, as great as he is, that's not what he is.
Right.
They don't have that. Now, Turpin is that, but not really.
You know what? I look at guys on the outside. Get a burner that has some height to him.
Okay.
Like 6'2", 6'3"-ish. Like that's, I wouldn't mind that.
You're one of those guys.
One of those burners. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hi, Darren. This is Chris, the producer in the back.
Yeah. Chris Beam.
Maxwell Hairston ran a 4.28. He's a cornerback from Kentucky. That would be the fastest time.
That was the fastest time. Thank you, Chris, because it's always a DB, right? Because
always a DB.
It's always a DB, man. DBs are always in the mix.
I can't catch.
Yeah. 4.5, no.
Probably can't catch.
No, that's fine. Hey, he can chase you down, though.
Yeah.
He's going to get drafted. He's getting drafted.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
All right, Darren. Appreciate
it, man.
Thanks, you so much, and enjoy your line.
Ali, appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
He'll call in. He'll call in next show or so. I think he's on assignment right now. He'll call in and be able to talk to me. And it was awesome for everybody that got a chance to talk to you. We're not done. We're going to break. We'll be right back, and we'll finish the show with a few more callers. See you guys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Up next, waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take your steak, cornbread, cobbers, pot pie, and potatoes next oval with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927. 24/7, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alltechlansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Alltech Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
This summer, step onto the field with Dallas Cowboys youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Athletes of all skill levels, ages 6 to 16, are invited to learn from former NFL players. Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. Register before May 19th to save $25. Visit DallasCowboys.com/camps to learn more. Those camps are run by our very own Danny McCrae. He's doing a great job with that. Make sure and go out there, say hi to him, and get your kids at the dance. Not only the youth football dance camps as well. All right. That was awesome. It was awesome to have Darren Woodson here. I always feel bad for the callers afterwards that, no, Darren's gone, just me. But he was great, as always. It was awesome to hear from Randy that he called. As he said, he's got surgery next week, next Tuesday. We look forward to hearing from him whenever that is. If it's next Wednesday, that'd be awesome. That'd be special. Let's not push it though. But we're all pulling for you. That was great that he got a chance to talk to Darren Woodson, and that was pretty awesome. Randy, you're one of the best. Everybody loves you, and just hang in there. We know you will. All right, Ronnie from New Jersey is next.
Good morning, Nick.
How you doing, Ronnie?
Not too bad. It was nice to see Darren Woodson there on the show. I missed him.
I hate that for you. I hate that. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool though. I actually had something to say. I wanted to actually tell him. I know he's not listening right now, but that guy, no matter what these people do, he's still a Hall of Famer. In our eyes, he's a Hall of Famer. They just haven't put him in there yet, but everybody knows Darren Woodson's a Hall of Famer no matter what. So
no matter what, you're right.
No matter what, he's a Hall of Famer. And you know what? Because I know I heard it from you, but he used to work in ESPN and all these other shows that he was in, and I kind of miss watching him on TV because the guy shows his personality. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that, like you, it's something that's really cool to see it or listen to someone's like actual personality. He shows who he is no matter what, like whether through TV, radio, and that's you. You're the same way.
I appreciate
that. That's why we kind of appreciate the way you guys are. That's why we appreciate talking and calling in and talking to you guys.
Well, and I think, and I'll speak for him, who said this before, and I say this like we can't do this without the fans. The players can't do anything without the fans, showing up, they pay the salaries. We don't do this show if you guys don't call in. I did a show one time. Chris remembers it. 30-minute show, 0 callers. I don't know what was wrong with the phone or if it was just too early in the game.
Yeah, there had to be something wrong with the phone.
Well, that wasn't
There's
fun.
No way.
It made me rethink, what are we doing here? Then the next show, we did like 8, and the next show was like 16, and then we were off from there. But there's no doubt about it. Chris will tell you, that wasn't my best attitude I've ever had in my life was after that show. We can't do this without you. So it's y'all's show. I say it all the time. This isn't just my show. It's y'all's show. And so if we lose sight of that, then we're doing the wrong thing and we're not focused on the right thing. So I hope you know that, and I'm saying that to you and everyone that's listening. So that being said, Ronnie, what you got?
Actually, that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to give a comment and say I hope we have a good draft. Whatever we get, I hope the guys are
Give me a name. Give me a name. Who do you want? Give me a name. Who do you like?
Oh man,
am I putting you on the spot?
You know what I mean, Nick. I want to stop the run and I want to be able to protect the quarterback. So I know we're gonna have to go for a receiver or something like that in the first round. But honestly, whatever we could get to help out the team. Yeah, the guy from Texas, the wide receiver, sounds good and everything. But whatever, whoever, as long as they help the team, that's all I want.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, and that's That's the beauty of the 12th pick. You know, we answered a mailbag question yesterday, and the question was, do you take best player available or do you take, you know, your biggest need? And I was like, well, you know, the good news or the bad news? Which one do you want? I mean, because the bad news is that you have a lot of needs. The good news is that you should be able to address one of them. So taking the best player available is likely going to address a need. That's how many needs you have. So you really, we're over here talking about tight end, and I don't think that'll happen. But even if that did happen, they'd be fine. If it's a corner, that fills a need. Defensive tackle fills a need. Defensive end, I don't know if it fills a need, but you need more playmakers. And if that guy, I'm fine with that. I said yesterday on an interview that I did, I thought, Mykel Williams from Georgia, if that's the pick at 12, or they move back a little bit, pass rusher off the edge, why not? You know, why not? Contract year for Sam Williams, contract year for Micah, to be honest. But I think he'll be back. But still, you need more of those guys. So I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with just about any position if they can come right in and start. And I don't think you take a guy at 12 if he's not ready to do that. All right, let's go to another caller. This is Luciano. I hope I said this right. Luciano from San Antonio.
That's correct. Yes, sir. I was born in Brownsville, Texas, but I live in San Antonio now. Thanks for answering my call.
First time caller.
Yes, sir. First time caller, man. I've been hearing you for a long time. I've been reading your articles for a long time too, man. Awesome writer.
Oh,
really
thank you so much.
The work you do.
Thank you so much. I hope you heard your "Here We Go" from Dak. With first time callers get that. So happy to hear from you. What do you got for us? What's going on?
So right off the bat, I just want something that's been in my head. It'd be awesome if somehow, I know everyone's kind of dispersed, but you, Hellman, and Broadus somehow make some type of podcast or something like that.
Get the band back together for the break?
Yeah, man. That was so awesome. That's how I discovered y'all, like, on podcast. So I was like, they got to get back together. But
let me say this. Let me say this, Luciano. What do your friends call you to? They probably call you. You have a nickname. What do they call you?
Family nickname, Louie.
Louie. All right. I'm going to call you Louie then, even though we're not family. But you know what? You're part of the storyline. You're family. I have an ego like everybody else, okay? Everybody has one. I do. And I'll say this honestly, when it comes to like me, Brian, and Dave on a podcast, they don't need me. They seriously, those two guys, I would be, sure, I'd have fun and I'd throw my, one-liners in, blah, blah. But those guys, that would be their own podcast right there. I would just be wasting time. Those guys are hilarious. I had a front row seat for it for about 7 or 8 years. It was awesome. Dave Hellman, where he is, he owes Brian a lot. And Brian will say the same with him. He used to write a lot. Dave would read it all. He says he owes a lot of his career to Brian. They were like family. They would talk more crap to each other back and forth. But if the next person comes in and chimed in, no. Oh, hell no. That's what it is with your family. You can talk about your brother, but somebody else may not. Yep. So, anyways, I say that would be fun. I would be there for the show and all that. But those two guys, I've always said, could run their own podcast. I think it would be outstanding. But anyways, but they don't work for us, so now it would be competing with them. But Brian does. Brian's still on the show and all that. He still comes back and does things. It would be fun if we could do that. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day, and I'll be there to watch it. I have to hear it, man. So, but I think y'all three, y'all's chemistry, awesome chemistry.
Well, thank you. What's your thoughts on the draft? What do you got? What do you think they should do at 12?
Man, so just like you were just saying, if they get one of the top prospects, that's going to be a need, regardless, right?
Right.
I'm a big diehard fan, man. And to tell you the truth, I'm kind of lost for words that I'm on the call right now, but. As far as Emmitt Smith's comments a while back, I want to maybe 2 weeks ago saying that they better not get a running back because the line's not ready. Maybe you already answered this. I haven't seen the show in a minute because, life. But I'd like to know your opinions about that.
Okay, thank you so much and appreciate the call, Luciano. Good to hear from you. Louie, Call you Louie.
Thank you, sir.
Call us back. Call us back for sure. Be a part of the show on a regular basis if you can. I get it. I understand that life happens. I totally understand that. I remembered Emmett saying something. Again, it might be out of context because I didn't exactly hear it. I thought it was more about, I don't want them to draft Canty. I don't think they'll know what to do with him. If that means the offensive line's not ready for it, then that would have been a better way to say it. And if he said it that way, then that's fine. It didn't sound like that. From my understanding of the quote, again, it could have been taken out of context, but it was more, they don't know how to handle a running back like that, which it's kind of, that would have been an odd thing to say when you don't even know who the coaching staff is. You don't know these guys. You don't know what they're about, and you don't know what they're planning on doing. But if your argument is the offensive line's not ready to take a running back to the next level, then I can certainly understand that opinion and somewhat agree. So I don't think the running back's going to be in play here at 12. I don't know if he'll be in play at 44. But I'm totally on board with drafting an offensive lineman. I just it's one of those things. This is not like the Detroit Lions back about 10, 15 years ago when they took a wide receiver seemed like 4 years in a row. It's not like that. It's time. It's time to. We just had the press conference for Zach and Tyron. It's time to get those guys again. Get those guys you're not worried about. That's why I want to draft the lineman in the first round. I just think it's the one position where you really wouldn't worry about it. Maybe defensive end too, defensive tackle. You get a defensive tackle, at this point in the draft, 12. He's probably going to be a guy that plays for a long time. But either way, I think they're going to be in good shape here. Let's go to break real quick. I know we have two callers on the line, but let's go to break real quick on StoryLine and come back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
To Cowboys Storyline.
This segment is presented by Yeti, officially licensed Yeti. Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concession, and on Yeti.com. All right, a few more minutes here to go here on Cowboys Storyline, the last storyline before the draft. Stay tuned with the schedule. We might have a pop-up show. Looking maybe Friday morning. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the first round. So we're working on that. We will definitely throw it out there on all the social media channels if that does happen. Trying to still make that work. All right, let's go to Zach in Atlanta. Zach, what's up? Nice. Not bad. Not bad. That's pretty good. I hope everyone caught that. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Beam.
Good stuff. There goes. Beam's on it.
My neurons are firing, man. The serotonin is hitting.
That's
so
awesome.
excited.
Did y'all work
draft.
that out? Did y'all talk about that?
We had a little something going on talking draft.
Still pretty cool. Pretty cool for sure. What's up, Zach?
Oh man, so excited! I'm going to quantify, the Cowboys camps of draft strategy. You got one side that wants the juice, right? They want electricity on the offense. Give me the receiver. Give me Canty if he's there. I want the juice. And then you got other people saying the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Give me the sauce. Give me an O lineman. The sauce, the flavors take a little time to marinate, but you let it sit overnight, and guess what? You got a power-packed flavor bomb that's going to roll through defenses for the next 5 years when the line gels. And I'm in the middle, but I think I'm going with the sauce, man. You said it before the break. We lost Tyron Smith last year. Zach Martin just retired. I mean, that's significant. We felt the drop off in line play, and even with Guyton last year, obviously we picked Guyton. He hasn't really stepped up fully yet, like you would want your first round tackle to do.
Right.
There's a big hole, man, and I mean, I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, I'll be doing cartwheels if we get somebody with some juice. You know, I'll eat my broccoli and enjoy it if we get a lineman, but I don't think you can mess it up.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard to mess up. But the Cowboys like to think they're smarter than everybody. Jerry said we're one of the best drafting teams in the league, which some picks, yes. So I'm here for it, man. It's
right.
NFL Christmas. It's so much fun. So
All right.
that's all I got. We'll chat again soon, man.
Okay.
Go Cowboys.
All right. Thanks, Zach. You know, I'll say this. I want to say this before the show is over. So, you know, I'd hate for anything to happen. I'd be like, oh, I like that guy. I'm going to say this. There's been a name that has been so intriguing to me, and I can't say that I've watched a lot of tape on him or whatever, but Mike Green out of Marshall. There's something about this guy. Now, maybe he's not the biggest pass rusher edge guy, but I don't know why I just keep coming back to that pick. And I think he was here for a 30 visit. I'm sure the Cowboys have done all their homework on him and all that. He went to the Senior Bowl and all that. But that just seems like a guy that could have a ton of upside. You know, maybe he's a DeMarcus Ware type. There's not a whole lot of guys that are, you know, that are not in the Power 5 that become superstar Hall of Famers and all that. And so I'm not, you know, every time one comes along and you're like, oh, he could be that guy. I'm just saying there's something intriguing about him for me. And so I think I'd be on board with that if that was the pick. I don't think it will be. I'm not saying that. I don't think it will be, but, you know, it's happened before. All right, let's go to Houston. We've got Dr. Corey.
Yes.
What's up, man?
How you doing, brother? This is my first time to the show. I've been...
Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, welcome to the show. What do you got, man?
Well, real quick, I'm going to do I call it scattered showers discussion. So one of the things I think has been missing with the Cowboys since Jimmy, I hate to beat dead horses, but we've had a lot of great things, but we haven't had the true right head coach. A lot of great position coaches, but it's like we get great players, not the right coaching system. Then sometimes we might have an okay coach, but not the right players with the system. So I think with Shoddy, quiet as kept. It wasn't everybody's favorite, but he's been behind the scenes understanding how football goes. I'm a fan of Shoddy because I want the underdog kind of guy that nobody's considering. I think he got the right mindset to be a Cowboys coach. So finally, through the McCarthys and the Clapper, as we used to call them, I just feel good about it. So with the players now, with Will McClay and how they pick, I think what's great, we're finally getting a coaching staff from the top that knows better what to do with the players we get. You can have great players, but if you don't play them properly and the right plays in the right system, we're still going to lose. So with that being said, I don't have a favorite. I think the Cowboys are going to do what's good, whether it's go backwards and get an extra pick or make a good pick. I prefer beef, and I don't say spend another first-round pick. We need the beef. We need a one-tech. We need some juice, and we need a receiver with some pizzazz. Whether you got Jaden Higgins, whether you got Matthew Golden, I like Tedero McMillan or whatever his name is, but we need some pizzazz. We need some juice for a running back. We need a run tech, and all the others will fill in the gaps because we're great at drafting, but I feel great now, finally. Will McClay won't be just doing things. They'll put people in the right system. So I just feel great about what we're doing. I don't have a bunch to say. I just wanted to say I'm excited.
Well, good. I mean, thanks for the call, Dr. Corey in Houston, first-time caller. And you know, I like that because, you know, you can tell that you're excited, you're buying in. You know, that's what fans do. You want to. This is the time of year you want to believe about. You know, you want to have good, positive vibes. You know, Schottenheimer's never won a game. He's never lost a game. Never won a game. This staff, they're all saying the right things. I mean, I'm with you. We can feel the energy. They haven't won a game. We'll see what happens. They could lose their first game, and everything will be on this show, and I'm sure the vibes will be a little different. But I'm with you, though. I feel like they're doing the right things. Now, time will tell. And I'm not one to say, oh, we didn't have the right coach. I mean, listen, there's 3 moments in this franchise, in this, you know, from the Cowboys from 06 to 14. We're talking about 3 plays, okay? Romo dropped the snap in Seattle. Do they win that game if he doesn't? Probably. Is Parcells a better coach now because he's got him in the championship game, you know, or the divisional round for that game? Maybe. You know, I mean, if Creighton catches that ball and he's running for a while and they go win that game, is Wade Phillips a better coach? And, you know, is Garrett a better coach if Dez caught it because he did? So, you know, I'm not one to just say, well, those weren't good coaches. They were. And this team, they've had the chances. They haven't been good enough. They just haven't been good enough to get to the championship game. Yes, coaching is a big part of it. The players are a big part of it as well. But I'm with you. I'm excited about Schottenheimer and the coaching staff and the energy and all that stuff. And I'm you know, they've had as good of an off season as you can have. Let's see if they can keep it going with the draft. All right, we're not done yet. We got Lester in Minnesota. Lester, what's up? I'm sure you're going to tell me 2 positions that are important.
Yeah, until we get the good to great offensive and defensive line at the same time, this is what we got. But I just wanted to say I concur with Woody, of course, because he said basically the same thing. And I just wanted to say one more thing about that. It's just like if you were to build a house, I mean, because the offense is the way I was taught, even though I played corner, the way I was taught is that the offensive and defensive line is the foundation of your football team or any football team, Pop Warner or whatever. So it's just like if you built a $3 million house on top of sand, guess what?
Right.
It's going to fall down. So that's why I always say that. So to me, Dak and CD and all those the nice players like that, that's your house. That's your $3 million house, but you got to have a foundation to support it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But anyway, I'm sorry I missed Woody. What I was going to say about what I was going to tell Woody is, like everybody else said, he's a Hall of Famer, et cetera, and so forth. But basically, the one thing I remember a lot of things, but one of the things that stood out to me toward the end of his career, man, those refs was really hard on that man. I mean, there was some calls. There was a lot of calls that was very questionable. And I used to say that because I watch every game now. I used to say that, and people say, oh, you're just a Cowboy fan. You don't know what you're talking about. I was like, come on, man. He didn't even do anything right there. But anyway, as far as the draft, you know what I'm going to say. We need a defensive lineman. And then I'm looking at Tyreek Williams, Grant, or Derek Harmon.
Mm-hmm.
I think Derek Harmon, or Tyreek Williams, we could probably get in the second round. I know we need a lot of things, Nick. Of course, if the Boise State guy there at 12, take him.
Right.
But I don't think he's going to be there.
No, I don't
either. As far as
either.
the receiver, we need a receiver as well. I really like Amin Adoka. I hope I'm saying his name right. Adoka, whatever.
Yeah, from Ohio
He's
State.
good. He's solid. I mean, he can catch. He can run routes. he's solid. I think Jesse said something about him one day, but he's solid. I've seen him. He's good. And, of course, I love speed, man. Golden.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all I have for you.
All right. All right, Lester.
Go Cowboys. We got a lot of needs, but I'm looking at D tackle, or if we don't get the Boise State guy, I'm looking at D tackle. First round, at least second round. Go Cowboys.
All right, thanks. Thanks for the call, Lester. Let's go one more caller here. Casey in L.A. Casey.
Nick, happy NFL Draft Eve, sir.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. Completely stoked. Can't wait for tomorrow. It feels like Christmas. NFL does such a great job of making the draft such a huge event. I mean, It's going to dwarf the NBA playoffs and NHL, and it gives sickos like myself complete off-season joy.
Nice.
So I think there's a number of ways we can go tomorrow. Hopefully they have something up their sleeve, and maybe an O-lineman falls, and when you get the O-line, kind of feels like when you order a salad for dinner. You don't really love it when it's happening, but a couple hours later you feel pretty good about it. But for this draft meal, baby, I need a steak or a burger. I need a playmaker. I want something sexy here.
What if you got a steak and you chopped it up and put it in the salad? So then you kind of had a salad, but it's still you got some chicken in there or some steak. I mean, you got some juice, but you're still eating a salad, But what if you get an offensive lineman that's just a badass, but still a lineman, but I don't know.
I'm not going to complain about that, because if we get back to running the ball like we did, or can give Dak time to find the other weapons, then I can definitely live with that. But
that was a great analogy, though. You did a good job, though. I like that. I definitely understand that. And people, I get it. They want that, that sexy pick. Then again, sexy just doesn't seem like a word that you need to throw in football. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. Let's go trenches, big guys. That would be my pick. I said it several times, but I promise you, I will not be sitting here going, "Oh, they got a receiver." Like that would be fun too. I just don't think they're not gonna mess it up. They just can't.
No.
So.
And I trust that they've done the work. Will's got the track record.
Yeah.
They've watched the film, so it's gonna be a solid player wherever it goes. But it's hard not to be stoked about someone like Tech McMillan. But I trust Will and company, so it's going to be awesome no matter what.
No matter what. So, all right, Casey, appreciate it. Thanks for the call. We got to get it rolling here. This morning I woke up like 5 a.m, and I was just like, well, I went back to sleep, but I woke up at 5 a.m. I was like, man, I'll be on the storyline in about 4.5 hours. And so I was anticipating this show for some reason, just looking forward to it. I knew it would be fun. Probably my favorite show we've ever done. If maybe I'm just caught up in the moment, but to have Darren Woodson here, to be able to give him a present from Ali and from the storyline for his birthday coming up in a couple days, that was great. For Randy calling in, getting a chance to talk to Darren, and also giving us an update on how he's doing. It was so great to hear from him and all of you guys. 15 callers is amazing. Always is that's kind of like the new standard. We get to 15. That's a great show, and it was a lot of fun. So thanks for everyone for calling in. Stay tuned on the schedule. See if we can get one in on Friday. Would love to hear from you guys on your reaction to the draft. It's here. The draft will be here tomorrow. Draft show Thursday all day. Starting not all day, but starting at 6 o'clock, an hour before the draft. It'll be going on. It'll be all weekend for sure. Chris Beam will tell you that as well. All your draft coverage will be taken care of there. We'll be able to talk to players. We'll have press conferences. So stay tuned to the schedule for all of that. Cowboys break will be joining us here in about 10 minutes. So stay tuned for that as well. All right, for everyone, Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you next time on Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!